And when people say they're scared to call out, I shut up because one thing I'm going to do is call out. Hello? Anything hurting on my body, I'm calling out. I'm tired, I call out. My mental is not there. I'm not about to force myself to be in these people's establishments. If something happens to me and I drop dead tomorrow, they're going to replace me. They don't care. So I'm calling out. Hello?
Everybody claims they're so mature, but the day I knew I matured was when I would call out of work with no care, no heart, don't care who y'all replace me with. Y'all gonna find somebody. I used to feel bad. Like I used to literally be scared to call out. Now I'm calling out sick. You mean figure it out? Like, because they're gonna figure it out every single time. So without me there, or me like there or not, the world is still gonna spin. Like, I don't give a I'm gonna call out and go figure it out.
We literally got people out here that are advocating for people calling off work for whatever reason, whenever they want, and not caring about any of the consequences, like potentially losing your job. That's what we getting into today. Y'all already seen 2 crazy clips, and I promise you it's only gonna get crazier from here. So let's get into the next clip.
I'm the biggest advocate for calling off of work.
Y'all hear her?
If you can afford it, call off of work. If you can't afford it, call off of work. You're not feeling at your best, call off of work. You don't want to be there, call off of work. You don't feel good, call off of work. You need a mental health day, call off of work. You just want to play hooky and take a self-care day to take care of you. Because if you don't take care of you, you're not going to be good to take care of other people at that job. These jobs will fire you. No 2-week notice, no grace, not give a fuck. You can pass on today. They will be hiring your replacement tomorrow. Take care of yourself. If you're not good to yourself, you're not going to be good to anyone else. I am the biggest advocate for calling the off. Because
I wonder if she got a job right now.
And I try to push through and I try to be a good employee, I have the type of day that I had today. The Lord was telling me, call off. You're not at your best. And I said, no, Jesus, today is my Friday. I'm going to go ahead and finish my week strong. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be a good employee. And as soon as I logged in, first call took me through there. And I was around this about to pull my frontal off. And God said, I told you to call the off.
Oh, that's what he said?
You didn't want to listen to your spirit. So have the day that you deserve. Call off. PTO is my best friend. And shit, if I ain't got none, my check just gonna take a hit. Because, baby, I'm going to call off if I'm not at my best. Because if I'm not good to me, I'm not gonna be good to none of these motherfuckers around me. And I'm liable to lose my job.
You know what else is liable to get you fired? Calling off of work for any and every reason, whenever you want to, whenever you feel like it. Yeah, that'll also get you fired and make you lose your job as well. Not just however you respond on the job, because you're not able to control your emotions and recognize that you need to regulate those emotions in order to show up and do your job in a professional manner. You know, kind of like how your employer hired you to do what they hired you to do. But hey, man, she ain't the only one, y'all. Check this out.
And food for thought. Anybody else believe in calling off of work? I believe in calling off of work if I'm stressed the out. I believe in calling out of work if I don't want to be there. I believe in calling out of work if I want to call out. Because I think I'm having the realization I don't even like working. I hate working. I hate the thought of waking up making somebody else rich when I could be putting this shit into me and my dynamic here. I could be making myself, my family rich.
How is that going to happen with that attitude?
Tired. Like anybody else feeling like that, I'm drained. I'm ready to go off on a whim and try entrepreneurship, but my problem be when shit don't work because I'm impatient. I'll be ready to stop. And so I'm learning to just have patience, but I'm tired. I really, really am tired. I am drained. Is anybody else in the working class feeling like this? I'm tired as
This is a person that says they hate working out of their own mouth, and they will call off of work for any and every reason that they feel like it. But then out of the same breath, they say they want to be an entrepreneur. Yo, that's the biggest joke I ever heard. You do realize that being an entrepreneur, being a business owner is harder than working for somebody else. For somebody else, all you got to do is do that thing that you actually are complaining about doing right now, which is just show up and do your job. When you are the business owner, you have to do pretty much everything. You're not just providing the service. You do realize the fact that everything is on you as a business owner, including finding customers, retaining customers, providing high quality services, and everything else under the sun that comes with it. Marketing your business. Yeah, you think you up for that? Somebody that hates working. Yeah, somebody that is just so tired from working for somebody else. And guess what? Somebody that's impatient, like you just said that you are. Yeah, ma'am, entrepreneurship is not for you. I think you need to start working on being able to go into work even when you don't feel like it. Because guess what? That's what mature adults do, especially those who actually want to continue to get paid and be what? Be able to feed themselves, feed their families, keep a roof over their head, right? Yeah, that's kind of important. But yo, she's not the only one with this attitude. Let's check out this next clip.
Calling out of work 101. When you call out, you do not have to tell these people why you are not coming. Just let them know ahead of time that you will not be there. And if they need a note or something, then you take HR a note. Because calling out, calling out, and then have everybody walking around the facility telling everybody what your reason for calling out was is crazy. I mean, it grinds my gears to hear people spreading people's business all around the facility. Like, how is... I know y'all not protecting the rights of these people, their privacy rights, because y'all can't hold fucking water. So when I call out, I don't tell them anything. I just be like, I'm not coming. I won't be there. And I call 12 hours in advance. Because, yeah, no. You got plenty of time to get coverage. Because I'm not doing that either. I'm not finna try to cover my shift. I said I ain't coming. For whatever reason it is. Just why I ain't friendly on these jobs.
All right, so now we got somebody giving the 101 of what to do when it's time to call off. And there are some things that she said that I believe are true. If you have a legitimate reason to call off, you don't need to let everybody in the office or wherever you work in know about it, right? I think that you just let your direct supervisor or HR, whoever it is that you need to inform that you won't be coming in, let them know. I also got to give her credit in the fact that she at least does it in advance. You know, you got a lot of them people, they calling in last minute, but I don't think that you necessarily have to find nobody to cover your shift. I don't think that that's always going to be the responsibility of the employee, depending on what type of job you work in and whether or not, you know, if you ain't there, then they ass out of luck because there is nobody else and you didn't give them any type of warning or indication or plan that they could actually put together to make sure that they're able to cover that shift without you being there, because that's how people end up losing their jobs, when their shift or their presence is dependent upon having a certain amount of people working, and when they call out and they do it where the company doesn't have time to plan for it, it costs them money, and that's what allows some people to get let go. But again, I think at the heart of it, the whole attitude of, you know, just not caring and thinking that calling out is nothing wrong with doing it is just wild to me. But hey, the story keeps going. Let's watch this next clip.
I called off for 2 days in a row. And before anybody jumps to conclusions, let me just say this. I didn't call off because I didn't want to work.
Okay.
I called off because my anxiety has been at an all-time high. And I've been pushing myself past my limit for a long time, y'all. Okay? Every day before I work, I prep talk myself. I give myself affirmations. I tell myself, just get through the shift, just show up. And sometimes that worked, but sometimes your body and your mind just say enough. People forget that when you go into a workplace, you're not just clocking in to do a job. You're walking into different energies, different personalities, pressure, office, unspoken tension, and expectations to perform like nothing is wrong. And the hardest part, you're expected to smile. Hey, good morning. How you doing? Be professional and stay productive even when you're fighting battles nobody sees. And what really needs to stop is the judgment, y'all. Stop assuming someone is lazy because they called out. Stop comparing pain like it's a competition. Stop saying we're all going through something Yes, we are, but we're not all carrying the same weight. You cannot speak on nobody's attendance, mental health, or breaking point when you don't even know what they're dealing with outside or inside. Everyone has a different walk, y'all, a different tolerance, and a different threshold. And this is mine. I'm not asking for pity, y'all. I'm asking for understanding. Because the people who keep showing up, who keep trying, who keep pushing through anxiety and exhaustion, those are often the ones closest to burnout. And I'm at my breaking point, y'all. And most people wouldn't even know it because I still show up when I can, still do my job, still stay consistent, y'all. And I'm saying this for the employee who feels guilty for taking a day, for the leader who's silently struggling, for the person forcing themselves through a shift on empty. Be kind in the workplace, y'all. You never know what someone had to fight just
Yeah,
to
you can
clock
see the
in.
tears in her eyes.
And I'm gonna keep
She fighting
choosing
it back.
growth, y'all. Healing and positivity, even on days work feels heavy, y'all, then I can carry. But y'all, we not alone. We in this together.
See, I'm always about having a balanced approach. I think that the clips we saw at the very beginning are the problem when it comes to this call out culture of people just calling out for no reason, and honestly because they don't want to work or because they don't feel like it or because they hate working. But I wanted to show this clip as well because it showcases the fact that there are some instances where calling out is necessary. Like mental health is serious. And you know that there are some people that actually push themselves past their limit. They should have taken a mental health day. They should have taken a self-care day. They should have taken a day off. But they didn't, and they just push through it and push through it, and they're dealing with, not only like she mentioned, you're doing the work that you're hired to do, but then you're dealing with the different personalities on your job. Lord willing, you're in a situation where you don't have workplace drama. If you do, that adds even more stress. Then if you getting micromanaged at work, if you got deadlines and project due, there's a lot of things that can put stress on people when it comes to going to work every single day, showing up day after day. And like she mentioned, putting on the happy face, putting on, that facade that everything is okay when inside it's really not, when your health isn't good, when your mental health, your physical health, like your emotional health, it's all suffering because you're honestly just suffering in silence. And that's a scary place to be in. And I feel like in those instances, a person definitely needs to, take some days to yourself, take some time for yourself. But in some instances, if your job, your workplace is that stressful, it may be time and it may be a sign for you to start looking for another job, looking for a different employer that you can work with. And that's the most important thing, is putting yourself first in regards to your health, mentally, physically, and emotionally. When it comes to calling out work just because you don't feel like it, just because you want to lay up, just because you hate working and you just can't deal with that job, that's not the right attitude to have. Those people are the ones who make it hard for those like this lady in this clip right here to be able to take the days and the time off that they need without feeling judged, without feeling like they're lazy, like they're not pulling their weight. There are a lot of people out there that are grinding day after day, showing up, going through some craziness outside of work, but they show up, they get the job done, they put on, the happy face and or the game face in some cases. Sometimes it ain't got to be a happy face. Sometimes you just come to work with your game face on, you get the job done, and you clock out, and then you got to go deal with everything that happens off the clock. That's a reality for a lot of people. And if you are in that position, I agree with her. I feel like if you haven't taken a day and you know you need a day, take a day. It may not be hard. I mean, excuse me, it may not be easy for some people because they're so accustomed, it's been ingrained in them, either within their family, within their friend circle, or internally they have this drive, this call to feel like I got to always show up. I got to always be there. I can't take a break. I can't stop. I always got to be go 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 go. That is a reality for some people, but this is a reminder, a healthy reminder that if it is causing you strain and stress to keep showing up, keep showing up, keep showing up and grinding and grinding and grinding, when your mental, your physical, and your emotional health are continuing to be impacted, it's maybe time to take a break. It doesn't have to be a long break. It could just be a little bit of time that you need to just center yourself, focus, get quiet, and spend some time for you. Show yourself that you and your health are a priority, you're important, and your job isn't your life. So I wanted to share this clip as a balance. We got one more clip, and let's get to it.
I really be calling in for work so I can spend time with y'all boyfriend and girlfriend.
That's crazy.
But y'all some different type of food. I only miss work under one condition. And that's for my kids.
Yo, that's real.
I'm going to get some money, baby.
Facts.
Because I ain't had the money, baby. You don't want to talk to me, baby.
He real.
So, you think I'm going to sit around you, lay up under you all day, watch TV?
Nah.
All day? Not happening.
Not happening at all.
That's why these girls be doing y'all how they be doing that. You calling in for it. You giving her too much time, my boy. You supposed to be stingy.
Smart man.
You supposed to be busy. I'm too busy for you.
Being about your business. So I had to end it off on this clip because what he's saying is spot on. As a man, especially, because I want to point this out. A lot of those clips at the beginning and a lot of the clips that I saw on socials are of women advocating for calling off and not feeling like working and hating work. And guess what? That's just, I feel like, the reality of that independent woman spirit of, oh, I want to be my own business owner. I want to be, the boss chick is backfiring. Because let's be honest, most women, they don't really want to work. Like, if most women had the choice to be able to live a pampered life where everything is provided for them versus a life where they got to get out, grind, work every single day, they're going to pick that first one. It's a very, 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 very small percentage of women who would choose the latter option. And that's the reason why it's not surprising to me to see women saying that they don't want to work. They hate working. They ready to call off because guess what? In many cases, that's not really what a woman was supposed to do. Like, not to, sound like a caveman, but a woman is supposed to be a wife, a mother, take care of the household, take care of the family, take care of the children. And yes, if you do have creative endeavors that you want to dive into in addition to taking care of the family and the household responsibilities and taking care of your husband and your children, then by all means you can do that. But being that sole breadwinner, being that person that gotta get up every single day and go grind and work that job, man, most women don't want to do that, and they were never meant to or supposed to do that based on, the traditional beliefs that I firmly believe in. But when it comes to men, that's what we supposed to do. You supposed to get up. You ain't supposed to be calling off work. You supposed to get up and take care of your responsibilities, take care of your family. Like this gentleman said, the only time he calling off work if it's because of his kids. And 9 times out of 10, that's because the kids are sick. They need to, be taken to the hospital or cared for in some form of fashion. It's not just because, oh man, I just got to be there, to play video games and PlayStation with my kids. Nah, it ain't going to be nothing like that. Most men, like he said, they get in the bag. And to think that there are men that are calling off work to lay up with a woman, like that's a no-no. No, 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 no. So for any person, man or woman, if you've made a decision to prioritize as a woman working over doing what's necessary for you to find a good husband so that you can live with a man, take care of your family, and be provided for until you decide that that's something that you want to do. Maybe you don't. When you look at a lot of modern women, they want it all. They want to work and they think that they're going to be able to get that lifestyle where a man is just going to provide for them without even being their wife, which is absolutely insanity. It's crazy to think that people are really out here advocating for calling off work when you got bills to pay. But that's how some people are choosing to live their life 9 times out of 10. If you keep that up, you are not going to have a job very long. And then you're going to be out there struggling. And unfortunately, you probably going to start trying to rely on the government and costing us taxpayers to take care of you, which is not something we want to do at all. So get your lazy butt up, go to work and do your job. Unless you fall into that category of the previous lady where you ain't got no issue with going to work and putting it in and you just grinding and you need a break. And if you a man, doubly so, brother. Like you may have to put in more work. That's just the way it go. That's just the way it is. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I will say this, men, That same thing that woman said in the previous clip, it applies to you as well. Men, we gonna work, we gonna grind, we gonna do what we need to do. But at the same time, our mental, our emotional, and our physical health matter as well. So there reaches that point where you also need to take a step back. You need to take a short break. You need to take some time for yourself. There's nothing wrong with that, especially if you work a job where you have that ability to do so. So that's my thoughts on this topic. Would love to hear your thoughts on all this craziness, all of them crazy clips of these people talking about calling off work for anything, giving you the one-on-one on how to do it and all of that craziness. I'm Jay. I'll catch you in the next one. Until then, stay blessed.